In this video, we will compare the cameras of the Samsung Galaxy A14 and the newer A15. We'll see how their main cameras perform, examine their selfie cameras, and also take a look at their video quality. These phones need no introduction, they are bestsellers, and many people are curious about their camera quality. For the first test, we'll keep the Scene Optimizer on, which tweaks the photo slightly using Samsung's AI to enhance it. Most people prefer to leave this feature on, but we'll also turn it off later for comparison. We have the A14 on the left and the A15 on the right. Off the bat, with this first photo, the A14's image looks punchier, but is over-sharpened. The A15 on the other hand shows a more natural blurred background, and its colors are closer to real life. With this photo of an alley, the A14 again over-sharpens the image. For me, this heavy processing is distracting. And by the way, if we zoom in a bit, the A15's photo actually reveals more details. Despite the lack of excessive sharpening, the A15's image is richer. In this one, the A14 steals the show again with a punchier image, but in reality, the color of that wall is the one on the right. A15's image is more accurate. Also, look at the grass. With all that red in the background, the A14 struggles, while the A15 produces a more balanced image. Here, the A14's tendency to oversaturate gets the best of it. It tries to make the yellow pop, but ends up ignoring the rest of the image. The A15, however, shows much better white balance. Let's look at a portrait taken with the main camera. Here, I'm quite satisfied with A15's photo. Skin tones look good, and although the hair is slightly sharpened, it doesn't bother me. My t-shirt is gray, not blue as it appears in A14's photo. The skin tones are also a bit off on the A14, and again, the over-sharpening is distracting. Switching to portrait mode on the main camera, where we get an artificially blurred background to make the subject pop. However, in portrait mode, the A14 forgets to blur my ears, something that would have happened with a professional camera. The A15 does a better job here, adding more blur to the background and achieving better color accuracy. When it comes to portraits taken with the selfie camera, the A15 tends to add more sharpness, but not in a harsh way. The A14's photo is slightly overexposed. I took another selfie to see if the results were consistent, and again, the A14's photo was overexposed while the A15 produced a more realistic result. Selfies are highly subjective, but I prefer the A15's image as I can easily brighten it up during editing, while correcting the highlights coming from the A14 would be more challenging. Let's now switch to the 2x zoom. In this photo of a mascot, the A15 is clearly better. It's sharper with better white balance and colors. In close-ups, the A14 struggles with the whites of the statue and overexposes the image, while the A15 delivers a more balanced result. Looking at the crack in the statue, the A15 also captures more details. While taking another close-up shot with the main camera, the photo on the left appears too bright, while the one on the right has the correct exposure and slightly more details. When we check the ultra-wide-angle lens, we notice a pattern. The older phone tends to overexpose, while the newer one is improved. In another ultra-wide-angle shot, the A15 is the clear winner. Though the image on the right is a bit too saturated, color accuracy is better, especially if you look at the street. And if we zoom in on something, we see that sharpness is superior. Before we move on to video quality, let me show you the photos with the Scene Optimizer turned off. As you can see, this feature doesn't drastically alter the photos, it enhances them slightly. However, the final result mostly depends on the quality of the cameras themselves. Both phones already apply some photo processing in auto mode, and the Scene Optimizer just adds a bit more to the mix. Ultimately, it's the cameras that make the biggest difference. Now, let's look at the video quality coming from the main and selfie camera. Starting with the main camera, there isn't a huge difference between the two. Both phones can record in Full HD at 30 frames per second. However, the A15 captures more details and maintains better exposure and color accuracy. As for the selfie camera, the A14 has trouble keeping my face sharp during video recording. It's a focusing issue. It also frequently adjusts exposure abruptly, which can be annoying. The A15 doesn't have this focusing issue. It adjusts exposure more smoothly and produces sharper, better colored videos. For recording using the ultra-wide-angle lens, I only have this brief clip of a cyclist passing by. If we look at the pavement's sharpness and the colors, it's clear that even the A15's wide-angle lens performs better. In low light, when taking photos with the main camera, both phones struggle, but the A14 applies heavy noise reduction, resulting in a loss of detail. I prefer A15's photo, where at least more details are visible. The selfie camera in low light is slightly better on the A15 because it handles white balance more effectively. Both phones show a similar level of sharpness though. In low-light video with the main camera, I actually prefer the colors from the A14. It seems to have found a better balance this time. However, in terms of sharpness, the A15 wins. It captures more details. In conclusion, Samsung has made solid improvements with the A15. It's better in almost every aspect. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe for more videos like this one. Personally, I'm pleased to see an entry-level Samsung phone with decent cameras. Finally, the A15 is quite good for its price. See you in the next video, guys.